Hello folks, we've got something different today. It's a newish set, and I don't know that we're going to get anywhere with it. I'm in the wrong camera mode. No, I'm not. Right, we have here a Lafayette Evolution. I don't think this is intended in the UK. I know it's quite okay to use here, and it is a MultiNorm that covers the UK because I already checked up. But I haven't actually seen them officially distributed. Is it probably more Germany? Anyway, this was this was a silent key sale which the customers bought for £5, and it unfortunately has been fiddled with. There's no mic with it either, but it has come with an instruction book. Though I did print off an instruction book just in case. So the first thing, it doesn't have a mic. So what is the mic it needs? Because the customer has tried what he thought was the right mic, and lo and behold, nothing happened. So to that, it's got 10 million channels on it, which of course it shouldn't have. So what we've got here, 1, 4, I mean, I'm assuming that's the right way up, but it might be upside down because it's upside down on the radio. Let's do it that way. In which case, pin 1 it says is, I don't like the word modulation because we're talking about FM, but pin 1. Well, of course, pin 1, pin 4, PTT, pin 3 is receive. It's standard Cybernet, but it's topsy-turvy and back to front. So we'll get our standard Cybernet mic. He's put one of these T-type connectors on, which is probably about all that can be done. I don't even know if they can with the detachable lead. I'm going to have to research quite a few things, aren't I? It's not like a normal when I can go to the cupboard and pull out one of 400 sets and say, aha, it should be like this. So we'll connect it with the crocodile clips. As he says, it's going to be with 1 million channels. So we don't want it on CE for a start, do we? Yeah, well, that's not normal, is it? Right, I'm going to start by, we're going to put the radio into PA because I just don't know what's happening here. So we'll start that, we'll do it that way. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. We have no audio. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Yeah, I think we need to open this up. I bet there's all links and things that they've been messed with because I don't know where they go. I mean, you may be getting this back with nothing done yet. It's in a bit of a state considering it's only just not a current model. you can see we've got a couple of pin options here, but it's not going to be there because this is going to be do with power regulation, power output. Out of interest, is it transmitting? Let's go back to CB and we'll go into CB, which is there. Tell you what we will do, we'll actually connect it to the test set, that will help. $27.02. Right, well, that's a funny channel, isn't it? And if we put it to the other, is it just a different mode? Yes, it is. So U1 does nothing. So in UK, let's put the frequency counter up for you. So it's, apart from being off frequency, it's yeah, it put inhibit on transmit when it was in AM, which is of course correct. Just put in the receive 79125. Right. We've got a lot of signal on. Let's turn the squelch off. RF to 4. That's fine, that's receiving. AMF switch was dirty. I've waggled it around a bit and it's gone on to FM. So that's channel 20. Let's turn the squelch up so we're not being annoyed. So channel 40, I never switch picture in picture so you can't see what I'm doing. Channel 40 should be 2799125, which it more or less is. So then what happens? Yes, that's right. E2. Is it 965? 27965. That's right. Is it wrapping round? Is that what it's doing? Yeah, that's normal. I think we'll do a master reset on this, just in case it's got its knickers in a twist. So it's come more or less normal, but it does wrap round rather than you selecting modes. Right. Master. Right, factory reset, turn the radio off, press and hold the PTT and the scan menu button and turn the radio on. So PTT, scan, on. And then what? The E country will blink for 3 seconds. So what's that mean? Then do we select the country? Absolutely. So, don't know what mode that's in. So what we do want it in is turn the radio on. Turn the radio off. Press the scan like we did before. So without the PTT being pressed, and then we'll put in UK, and then what do we do? You can select the country and press the scan button. So, but it says 65. We haven't got 65 channels. Oh my goodness, that's gone into 28 megs. So there must be some link that somebody's activated to make it become illegal radio. Does this speaker unplug? Yes, it does. Very thin wire on modern sets. Out of interest, what power's this radio doing? Put it on channel 1, whatever that is. 27 dead. Right. Let's see what the power is. Switch the meter to read power. It's doing 3 watts. So whatever these other links are, right, well I'll have to do a bit of research and see if I can find what can happen to these sets in the hands of naughty people. Okay, it's not in any funny mode. It's got its knickers in a twist. I've done a master reset and I've now switched to PA. Testing 1 2. PA is shown in the window as PA, and it's obviously the CBPA switch, and it's mic gain that affects the volume. Testing 1 2 3 2. Testing 1 2. So we'll pop the mic gain back to full, and now we'll switch it back to CB. And what it does, we're on UK 20 at the moment, it wraps around. So it doesn't have, it's got an AM FM switch, so normally you would, when it's in UK mode, it is doing AM FM in CPT and it's doing FM UK. And so what happens when you go to AM when it's in UK, I think it, you know what, it's receiving in AM but it won't transmit, of course, so it says error if you try and transmit, which is correct. But what a bonkers arrangement to have it actually receiving in AM when there should not be anything there, unless you've got somebody operating illegally, which you don't want to be communicating with anyway. So, we're in UK, and as we go round, we're now on the EU channel. It's wrapped round. So we go to channel 20 of EU. I won't put the... I'm not going to bother putting the signal generator to that at the moment. Let's put the frequency counter up. So we should be on 27205. Is it one of these sets that feeds back when it's got the lids off? Now what's happened? Why haven't we got transmit? Oh, because I'm in AM. Yeah. Now, where's 60 come from? Where on earth has that come from? It's back to doing this. Oh, that's the things. That's the dial lamps. How can it do this? It's not in export mode. I'll see if I can find what... I'm in the middle of a demonstration. The power bounced, then it's gone back to something funny. Right, what it is, if the power bounces, it gets its knickers in a twist. And the fuse holder's broken. And what's happening is the power's bouncing, and it goes into something bizarre. Right, so what we'd better do... he's going to want it for 80 channel use. So if I select channel, I'll tell you what, we'll do channel 1 of UK. That's the best thing to do. Did I say channel 1 of UK? I did, yes. So it's UK 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we are. UK channel 1. We should have 2760125. Which we have, if it was on frequency. It's not far out. So if we do everything on channel 1, we're in the centre of the band. I've said this before, of course, that the CPT band is 26965 to 27405. The UK band is 2760125 to 27.99125. So the centre of the band is either channel 40 of CPT or channel 1 of UK. So there you are. So that's why when we're doing it for 80 channel, we will do we will do it in this on channel 1 of UK. So we don't have service manuals for this, as you can well imagine, and our transmitter is going to be simply that and that. There's going to probably be a power preset. It's got a TX meter. This isn't as new as I thought. It's got a TX meter, so it's not pre-programmed, which is nice. Antenna warning indicator, auto squelch. Meter will be received, squelch deviation. Frequency. Right. Well, we may as well. We'll put that down. So it uses standard Cybernet mic. Where's my pen gone? I'm going to make a start on this. So right now, we'll do this. So it's 2760114. 2760124. Let's see if we can get that on frequency. Oh, it's one of those, is it? Getting close. Ideally, I'd like it at 126, so it's just slightly high. Well, it's spot on. It is toggling between the two. I'll put that down. 2760126 for channel 1. So, we don't have a VCO method, and of course it's not coming for being problematic like that. Deviation is currently on this test set. Don't think, and I'm going to have to go to channel 20 to read it, because I'll just nip it up to channel 20. Wow, it says 1.5 on this test, but we'll get the truth out of it with the other test set in case it's lying. Right, so that's U1 back at channel 1. Right, so we've got on channel, we're going to put an extra parameter in like we do. So we're going to put in channel 1 CEPT, channel we'll put channel 1 UK, channel 40 UK. So at the moment we've got 3 watts there. So we'll turn it to channel 40. And that's channel 40. Oh, we don't want that. We want channel 1 on UK. Wind it all the way down. Right. European channels 1, 26965, and it's doing 3 watts. So now we'll hopefully wrap round to UK 40. Yes, it does. And it is 2.8 watts. So we'll go back to channel 1 UK. I'm going to run out of wind with all this malarkey. Let's go to the meter, and our current consumption is 1.166. Obviously it doesn't have a low power feature because it's not a 2781 set. So let's see if we can get an improvement on this. It would be nice if it did a bit nearer 4 watts. No, that's exactly where it's going to be. See where the peak is on this. And that is the peak of that. So I would suggest there's going to be a power preset. And it's probably here. It is. And it's now doing 4 watts. I'll just check that's now peak because it could have changed. It is there. Right, let's see where it is on the other channels. So CPT channel 1. Is 4 watts. And will it wrap round to 40 UK? And the answer is yes, and it's doing 3.9. So that's nice. Right. Let's go back to channel 1, which we're working on. I don't like having to go through 80 channels. I'd much prefer it with a band switch, like most sets do. So current consumption now is 1.332 amps. We've got another watt out of it, and we've only gone up 200 or less than 200 milliamps. Got it on frequency. Is this meter lit up? Is it actually lit up? Well, it doesn't have any other meter lamp, so it's supposed to read. Well, it's supposed to say 4, isn't it? It's got some daft 10 setting. I know that there's some BS that in some kind of export mode needs to do 9 watts, but it won't, and it's struggling to do. I'll tell you what, it's struggling to do 4. It'll probably do 9 watts for about 10 minutes. I bet it doesn't do 9 watts anyway. It's all BS, you know. I'll tell you what, all you've got to do is look up the device. Of course it doesn't do 9 watts. It's a 2SC2078. There's no way that does more than 5.5 watts. So that's absolute BS. You know, they can't say. We had this with car stereos, didn't we? You know, let's say we had the TA7205, a popular Toshiba chip at the time, and I think it's 5.8 watts is the absolute maximum audio output. And then, you know, you go into the car stereo shop and mysteriously it's 65 watts with a pair of them, you know, and it isn't. Absolute BS. Right, the meter preset for RF is that one labelled. It says TX, and it's going to make the meter only go about halfway across because of its BS scale. It's like having a motor car that has a 988 engine and has 150 on the speedometer. So there we go, that's 4 watts, which is not far off centre. So it was reading 7, it now reads 4. Meter lamp, it doesn't have one. PA function, did have to wiggle it around. Dirty switch. Sockets work, the potentiometers work, the switches work. Right, we'll note down. I'm going to go and do something else, of course, but we're going to get this so far. Right, we'll plug the speaker back in, and we'll now put the signal generator on 2760125 because we're going to be working on CPT UK channel 1. I haven't done AM transmit yet, I haven't forgotten. Right, there we go. So right now, with the cyanide meter on, it is receiving at put that on the screen for you. It's actually really good. It's 0.25 microvolts. For 10 dB, it's 0.2. For 20 dB, don't often see modern sets working this well on receive, but who knows if it's a bleed over box or not. Squelch to full. Let's put an auto squelch box in. So I'm going to put squelch to full, and I want it to come on open up when I get to 100 microvolts. There's no hard and fast rule, it's what I want it to do. 3, 10, 30, 100 doesn't. Comes in at 1.8 millivolts, which I think is too harsh. Bits of radio. So our threshold, if we put the signal generator to standby, like that, turn the squelch down, that was mic gain. Fancy putting volume, mic gain, oh good grief. It's 0.84, which is fine. So I'd expect about 2 for ASQ. So turn the signal generator off again, and it's there somewhere. Ah, there it is. It's 0.78, the same. Oh well, that's how it is. And the signal meter should read 100 microvolts for S9, and it's absolutely spot on. So this hasn't been fiddled with, it's got its knickers in a twist because of that faulty fuse holder. But it's not really ideal because it enables this to then transmit on frequencies that aren't available in the UK. So we'll go onto the deviation meter. It's not switched on. Well, that's an ideal point. I'll just do the tuning on this receiver and we'll come back later and do the deviation. So just to see whether we can get any improvement. So there we are with 100 microvolts. Is there an FM detector? See, that could be an AM detector. We'll find out, won't we? Let's go to the oscilloscope. Well, it's not an FM detector. Well, at least I can switch it straight to AM without faffing. There we are in AM. So if it's the AM detector, which it is, it's now peaked. And it wasn't at peak. Go back to FM. Squelch down. Auto squelch off. That's it. And now we'll use the cyanide meter to see if we can get a little bit more out of the receiver, which is really excellent. Put a bit more signal on for that. And less again. Can't find this one. Right, let's see how the receiver, I don't think it's made any difference. It's not one of those sets that gets better when you hold it, no it's not. So we've got yeah, it's 0.2 now, and for 10 dB we're between scales. Yeah, I'm between scales, so it's still 0.2. Just a little bit less than 0.2. And for 20, it's 0.38. Oh, well, tiny improvement, or on something which was already excellent. Squelch threshold. I've done the mic gain again. Squelch to full, 100 microvolts on the signal generator. Let's adjust the squelch until it comes in. Let's go back to the attenuator so you can see what I'm doing. And we've got a squelch preset here. So that's 100 microvolts, which is where I want it. And then we'll check the threshold. So put the signal generator to standby, parking it at 0.3 microvolts, and set the squelch on the radio, signal generator back on, 0.67. Now auto squelch, that's too slack. The whole idea of having auto squelch is that in a lot of situations it's going to be okay. So it needs to be a bit higher, somewhere around 1.8. Otherwise you'll be faffing about back with the manual squelch. So I'll go to auto squelch. I'll make sure that manual squelch is fully down, so I know it's on auto squelch. We can prove it's actually working. But auto squelch preset, and if I put that to what signal I want about 1.8. So I'm going to take it to about 1.3, and then we'll see. Okay, well, it's not going to do it. Drop the signal. So that's the highest that'll do. Let's see where it comes in. So we're now at 1. So the highest auto squelch will do is 1.4. Well, that's better than where it was. Right. Make sure the S meter is still saying that S9 is 100 microvolts. Could just pop that up a very tiny fraction. So there we have meter. That was the other meter. There we go. That's now back where it should, because realigning the receiver, of course, is going to affect that. So even though it was right, it then isn't right. So we'll come back and we've done the AM detector on receive. Now, let's just see what the sensitivity is on AM. It's never as good as FM. So here we go. So look at this. We've got these 0.25 figures. So go back to the synod meter. Let's see. Put plenty of volume on. And turn the squelch down. That's 12. It's 0.55 for AM. Which is very good. But it's not 0.2. but we can still hear right down to 0.015, whereas in FM, what can we hear? Down to 0.11. So that is getting there. So just got deviation, Lafayette evolution. I want to also see how what the calibration of the automatic warning indicator is going to be like. Right, we'll come back in a bit and we'll do the deviation and modulation and the antenna warning indicator. Right, we'll get on to the deviation. Wow, it's 1.5. Wow, it's 1.5. Yeah, that's not unusual for newish sets. So it is that one there. That'd be as quiet as a mouse, wouldn't it? Mind you, those all 4 Cobra 29s, which are as deaf as a post. I think the deviation was 0.9 on the 3 samples we had. Wallop, wallop. So just do 2.1. See what it says on the Marconi test set, because that was right. In fact, it was 1.5 when we did the initial test. That's what it said on the quartz lot one behind me. So we'll go to the main meter on there. See, we need to change channel to 20 because that's what the test set's tuned for. Wow, it's only reading 1.5 there, so it is 2.1. So it was 1.5 kilohertz, and it's now 2.1 kilohertz. But I'd like them to be 2.2 to 2.5, but this set doesn't do that. Right, so that brings us to AM modulation, which I can use this test set for. So we need to go to a CPT channel, can be any one. Channel 40 will do nicely, and then we'll retune the test set for that. Wallow. We're getting there. Come on. 1 2 1 2. Wallow. I'm not in AM, am I? Wallow. So that's beyond 90%, which isn't ideal. Let's get the thingy meter on there. Tone generator. Voila, that's it. 90%. Has my pen run out? Never rains, does it? So we're done. out of interest, what current does it draw in AM? Wow, ooh, nearly 2 amps. Yeah, I can't think of anything else we need to do. I've got that fuse holder to do, but I can do that behind the scenes. So I'll tell you what, we'll flick through. I'll give Mr. Chippy the opportunity to do that. Well, this meter does not light up. It doesn't have a lamp in it. It's not intended to have a lamp in it. I'm sure that was one of the moans from the customer. Let's take the other side off. I expect it's another cost-cutting exercise. Fuse holder's fallen apart at the same time. There is absolutely no provision in that meter for a lamp. Anyway, we'll do an on-the-air test, and you'll, when I put the fuse holder together, we'll do a quick flick through the channels. We'll swap the test gear for the aerial. So master reset on these, remember, with the set off you hold the PTT, you hold the scan menu button, switch the set on, 3 seconds it does a master reset. But the instruction book with that in is readily downloadable. There's the aerial. You see, he's bounced it again. Shouldn't be that easy for it to lose its plot. Right, better plug the extension speaker in. Seeing as we haven't got the case on it. Well, no, Roger. now we're on the UK. '19 Roger. There was one other thing we needed to do, wasn't there? And that was the antenna warning indicator. So for that we need a matcher. I've got one somewhere, or is it one we've lent out again? I'll come back to that. Right, so just to finish this off, we've just done the on-the-air test because of the way the timings had to go. So I just had to temporarily put the lids on. We've done the power lead. It's got a nice new power lead with a fuse holder. And I need to just put these rubbery bits back on. And it worked very well actually on the air test. And we did it AM and FM and everything like we do. As far as the antenna warning indicator goes, I don't know where my matcher box is. You know what? When you lend things out, if you forget who you've lent it to, not everybody brings things back, and I've no idea. So what I'm going to do, we'll just unplug the aerial for a second. I've got the power supply current limited to 1.8 amps. We're just going to key up with no aerial, and the aerial indicators come on, so that's fine. Not the ideal way. It's not. I don't think it's adjustable. Let's have a look to see if it is, and then we'll wrap up the video, and you can have it back. So it shouldn't bounce the power now that we've sorted that out. Oh, it is adjustable. It's there. There's no reason to doubt that it's not set right. Okay, so unusual set. Thank you for watching the Lafayette Evolution. It's only about 4 years old, and no doubt we'll find an old clunker to sort out tomorrow.